Jingle all the way. Ba-da-bum bum 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 ba-da-bum. They can't copyright this music if I'm gonna sing over it. Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! It is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Alright. Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We just hit 7,000. Is that a dream come true? No. But is it a milestone? Yes. I couldn't imagine myself at even 1,000 subscribers. But it is what it is. The channel is on a bull run as well. Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are all getting situated. Sit back, have a cup of coffee if you're just waking up. Grab yourself some hot milk if you're just about to go to bed. Because this is gonna get interesting. Interesting. Let's see where the Bitcoin goes. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Is everyone doing good? Should we do we need to put on some Christmas music again? Just to kind of pump things up. Pump it in the house. Bitcoin is, man, it's miraculous. Pumped up quite a bit, right? 40%. It's gonna be a good year. But it's going to be a wild ride. Let's get some more people on board. Oh, we already hit all the likes. Okay, we can just start now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much for joining me here today. BTC is now starting to show the volatility in this wild range that we're currently in. We're going to see where BTC is going to go. Maybe it's already finished. Who knows? You never know, right? And maybe it's already looking like it's starting to consolidate, finally create a range just before that extremely massive 6-digit number that we have never imagined, right? But will it break? Most likely, yes. But it's gonna be a wild ride. That's where all these 3, 4, 5s are coming into play. This is gonna be a very interesting year, especially with Thanksgiving right around the corner, and then Christmas. And then hopefully we don't get a bag of coals for Christmas where BTC just drops. Hopefully we'll get that massive run up to the $100,000, $120,000, $30,000 range. I mean, this is the power of compounding interest, ladies and gentlemen. From these levels, it's far easier to go up to, $120,000 than we're already, up 40% from 60K, right? It's the power of compounding interest. So we're gonna, people say, $200,000, $120,000. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But with that being said, right now, BTC is still within that expansion phase with high conviction. We've been talking about this idea for quite some time. We originally had this as a diagonal idea, but we knew from the get-go there wasn't enough momentum, and we immediately swapped to being a mad bull before everyone was calling for a massive pullback. I was thinking of a massive pullback before we actually went up, but we did a fantastic job of swapping our conviction, and now we're finally in that expansion phase. We didn't get any sort of pullbacks within this region. We're now looking for all of these 3, 4, 5s to play out, and we're just kind of figuring out how this 3, 4, 5 is going to be playing out in this degree right here of this primary degree, okay? Because that's the only real data that we have with the current degree. So we're going to break it down a little bit, see where we're currently sitting at from a macro perspective, and then also on the shorter time frame. But since I've already gone over the macro on the last live stream, let's just kind of go over what this region is kind of playing out. So let's zoom in. So we'll just stick with the 1 hour chart. With the current data given, you know, this move here was, it's not beautiful, but it is what it is. It did create this impulsive move to the upside, so we just got to say that this is a 1-2. It's really the only way, because this is the only established corrective move to the downside. We got 5 waves going into wave 1 here. Very short wave 2. 3, and then a triangle for 4, and then 5 that's just completed. I think that's how I counted it, right? Yeah, it should be. Yeah, with a very truncated E wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside for a 5th wave. So looking like this is, I mean, with the data given, looks pretty much complete. We should be theoretically working for some consolidation for a wave 4. I mean, we got a pretty solid rejection around 93,000. It's not too much of a problem, right? We're just now trying to figure out how big of a correction that we have. Now, keep in mind, we do have a CME gap below us. We have a pretty significant large CME gap when you're looking at it on the daily. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, the CME gap, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, all of those doesn't matter. The 1 hour, I mean, the 1 day time frame is what matters. If you have a significant daily gap, because the weekends, right, it's considered as days. So if you have a significant gap on the daily chart, then there is pretty high, you know, conviction that it's going to eventually fill. Even if it continues up, it's eventually going to fill. If not, we never filled this gap over here. We just continued up. We were expecting, I was even expecting for this gap to fill before we actually went up, but it didn't happen. But either way, you can see most, if not all, gaps eventually fill. Like, for example, this gap over here, you can see it eventually filled. And that's where resistance was pretty much at. And, you know, considering all fair value gaps as well, similar idea, should be around the similar range. So this idea, like you can see Bitcoin continue that bearish continuation here. Maybe that's the idea here, where we continue up and then eventually come down and fill that gap. It really, you don't know. That's the drawdown of the CME gaps, because you don't know when they're going to fill. But they do act as magnets eventually, where they will eventually get filled. But, you know, we do have anomalies within the market. They won't get filled exactly, and sometimes they won't even get filled 100%. But they are, most definitely, they will get 99% of the time they'll get filled. That 1% is like this, right? So definitely something to keep in mind. You know, we had this gap over here. A lot of people thought this was the end. We wouldn't fill that gap, but look what happened. We just filled it, and then we just pumped back up. So are we going to get a similar move like this, where we just boom and then get out of here, front run it, and then we get out of here? Absolutely possible. I mean, it makes sense if you are seeing it from a sideline perspective. You really want that. You're anticipating that level anyways, because all-time high is already right here at this wave 3, right? And, you know, coming down, retesting it, see what this reactive level is going to be playing, maybe even wick into that all-time high before we front run it, right? So we'll see. I mean, I can't say when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but it's something to just keep in mind. With the current 1 hour chart, I am, like I've said, this does seem, it seems complete to me, just with where we're at right now, which is why I'm doing this live stream. It just seems like this is a completed move here. Now we have a few ways we can count it. Again, I have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a very obscure diagonal, ending diagonal going into that fifth wave. That right there in itself is the impulsive wave to the upside for that intermediate 1. ABC 2, 2, 5 wave up for 3, triangle for wave 4, truncated E, and then fifth wave to complete off. And we did get divergence, right? So we did create a divergence. So if you have a divergence between waves 3 and 5, then you have a relatively good idea that it's going to be a completed 5-wave move, right? Divergences usually play or intertwine quite nicely with wave 3s and 5s. So then, then you should see corrective move coming into play. So what's next then? Again, we're working in this current degree right here. So if we highlight it, this would be the current degree that we're currently in right now. Now, how far does this wave 4 go? I mean, just right off the bat, you want to take it from this pivot to this pivot. Normal Fibonacci levels, right? These levels are usually going to be the most prevalent levels that you want to be working with. So since our wave 1 is quite long, as it is, our 618 and the 50% level is already in line with that area of invalidation anyways. So the further we extend it, the better it would be to have, even the 61.8 in mind. But right now, if you are even seeing the 61.8, at that point, it would be probably a different count, right? Probably be part of a corrective structure than anything else, right? So if that's the case, if we zoom in even further, it does look like we have a pretty solid, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, most definitely a 3-wave structure here. And then this may be the impulsive continuation. And if we just take the fib extension, we should be hitting the 101 pretty soon, right? Yeah, so it's around the $86,000. That will be the first level of interest anyways. So definitely keep that in mind if this is an ABC. But again, if that's the case, it would be completing here. And I don't like that because, well, I guess I like it in the sense that we are already in the expansion phase as it is. We want to keep our retracements as shallow as possible. So the 23.6% is fine. This level would be okay as the first level of reaction. And we're already starting to get a reaction before that 23.6 anyways right now. So we'll just see how this develops. Then the next level is going to be the 38.2%. And then since the Fibonacci 50% is not a Fibonacci level, the 61.8, at that point, you're probably thinking of a different, I mean, it's still valid, right? As long as it stays above this wave 1. I think people just like to talk about probabilities more than what the conviction really tells us. So it's not invalid until it's invalid, right? Now, this wave 4, in my opinion, is probably this degree that we're working in is playing out right now. Now, if this is an ABC, could be turning into really any corrective structure, really anything. So if that's the case, this also could turn into a WXY, meaning that if this ABC is complete and then we do another range, if we do another range here, create an X wave, this could be turning into another ABC, and that could be bringing us back into that 38.2 or 50% level, and that is where our wave 4 could be, around these levels, around $80,000. That still gives us a relatively good look. Maybe wake into that 61.8, and then we're out of here. Who knows, right? You never know. But yeah, keep that in mind. Definitely a possibility, especially with the $77,000 level with that CME gap in mind, right? And it would still give us a pretty good look. I would expect a strong reaction, 5 waves off of the lows from there. Right now, it just makes sense. I mean, there are going to be medium time frame traders anyways, right? Because there are people who are trading right now. It's not just people who are investing. You can't buy forever, right? I mean, this money, no one has infinite money, so eventually it has to stop, right? Or at least stall for a little bit before people find a little bit more conviction to the actual structure. Then you know, taking the group of people who is technical analysis people, and then, you know, maybe another round of new fundamental news coming into the market, bringing a little bit more confidence back into the market, then we'll see how this wave 4 develops. I think that's how we're seeing it. And then the second idea is a flat idea where wave 3 terminated here. I don't like this too much. I don't think I even have this measured. I just did this on the spot. So let's see if we pull up the, yeah, so we did surpass the 138.2%. I don't know, we probably hit the 1618 right on target. Yeah, I don't like to accept a flat B wave, expanded B pocket B wave into the 161.8. I know a lot of people do accept it, but I guess just subjectivity kind of issue, right? Could be even a flat idea, but that still brings us down to the same levels, right, of that wave 4. But I just don't see that as a flat idea. It just looks weird. I mean, since you have such a high wave, it just doesn't seem right. So if that's the case, then we want to be sticking to this idea. This idea is possibly the best idea. Now, it could be turning into anything. This could be turning into even a triangle, really. If it ranges for so long, this could be really a wave 4 and still give us a relatively good look, that it doesn't just go down even to the 23.6. Maybe the initial move gives us that first initial move into that major Fibonacci level that we're looking for, and then we create a 3-wave, 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 and then we create a triangle, wave 4, and then we complete up. And then, well, we should have another range as these 3-4s continue. We're going to have like these bursts of 5s, right? Those are pretty much our last resorts of 5s, because the initial move of this impulsive move is pretty much complete of the initial move, basically, right? Because the strongest move is going to be the smallest internal degree of the expansion phase of the 3, 4, 5s. We created most of the work here. We're just working already within this larger degree wave 3, and that this whole move is creating it. I wouldn't expect a massive just wave 3. It's going to be bursts. So the 5s are going to be pretty much within the commodity markets, especially with Bitcoin, the final bursts of the actual moves that we're going to be expecting. And then the choppiness actually happens between the waves 3 and 5 of a higher degree, right? So that's how I'm seeing it. Now, how else can we go deeper for this wave 4? Possibly, maybe if this is not a ABC and we get a follow-up within the next, 6 or 7 hours or so before the opening, we could say that this could be turning into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that will be the initial move of going into the first minor degree wave 1. And then that could be the A wave. This could be the A, then the B, and then the C. But that would be extending the wave 4 quite a bit in time. So really, I just want to see a flush. If you really want to see the depth, I would really want to see a flush. But either way, I would just say, if this is an ABC, we range and then ABC again, right? That could give us the same depth, but it would be relatively shorter in time as opposed to having the impulse now and then the ABC like this, because we got to have a B wave correction to the upside. So this is how I would, if I were to categorize it, just keeping things in, symmetrical form. We want to make sure our waves are intact, both in time and also in structural integrity of how wave 4s are going to be created. So yeah, I would expect this wave 4 to either complete soon or have a little bit deeper and front run that CME gap all the way down to 77K. But we can do it in waves, right? We can, like I said, if this is the initial ABC, have some kind of X wave range around that 23.6% level, and then an ABC again, that could be completing this finally for that wave 4 and then 5, and then we should technically be hitting that $100,000 range, which is, again, psychologically a major resistance. And then we should see the initial sharp move, right? The initial sharp move, but based on alternation, since we've already had a sharp move for this wave 2, we would expect wave 4 to be sideways. So it should be a wild volatile range instead of seeing it as a major wave 4. So we should be seeing this as a wave 4, have an initial move, strong wave 4. It could really come into like this. Usually you'll see higher degrees go back into the previous degree, wave 4s. And then that will complete off the higher degree, wave 5 of this degree. So you can see we're already starting, again, this is all theoretical, but it's fitting quite nicely in terms of the look, right? This is how you would want it to look. And this is what you're starting to create overall impulsive structure to the upside, right? And then you have this degree eventually being created where we were talking about this whole move here as the impulsive extension for this wave 3. And that, in my opinion, should be the end of the bull market. Yes, I do believe in an end of a bull market. Many of you may not believe it, but it is something that I've talked about for quite some time. I do think that we will get a bear market after this 5th wave completes, because if we go to our CME chart, you won't believe me, but I've been talking about this forever. This is how we want to end this. You can see everything's nesting quite nicely, right? And this 5th wave should be the blow off top theoretically, right? Then get that wave 1, 2, and then come down to possibly test that 23 to the, whatever level that you're looking at as an interested bear, right? But it should be anywhere in 2025, in my opinion. I think, quarter 2 to the quarter 3 of next year should be where we will get a massive bear market. Like, it will. I hope you're going to learn your lesson from the previous bear market, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion, we will get a major pullback. But with 5th waves, it's so unknown. You don't know how far this 5th wave is going to go. Maybe it will extend even further. Maybe we're working in such a minor degree right now where we're not seeing the current degree of and the strength of what Bitcoin could be giving us. But that right there, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, is how we're going to fill that CME gap eventually, if it were to go up and not fill it. Now, you may be asking, all right, if CME gaps are eventually going to fill, what about this dude here? This is a significant CME gap. And that's where my idea comes in, where we have the diagonal idea. Where this is all corrective, then impulsive. And that would fill that CME gap. And if it's so nice, because if this is all corrective to the upside, we get a massive move down to 60K. People think that alone right there is going to fake a lot of people out. Then we get another move to the upside around $400,000, and then eventually a massive blow off top where we will get a massive move down to $6,000, $10,000 levels. Now, people don't want to believe it, but it's absolutely possible. That's why I'm giving you guys these scenarios. Whatever you don't want to believe it, fantastic. It's okay. We all have our differing opinions about how we see bear markets and bull markets, but there's always a first, no matter what. Every seasonal and cyclical a move that we make, there is always that possibility of having a new cycle. How we want to draw it out, it's all up to our imagination. But this is just based on my evidence of how I'm seeing the markets. I like working with distribution ideas, and it's worked so well in the past. It's all on record, by the way. I mean, we've talked about this on my trading view for forever, basically, right? And I already have these ideas. And if you're not a believer of that idea, then there's the idea of just having a series of 1-2s and it just goes up forever and it goes up to 30 million per Bitcoin. That's up to you. But in my opinion, I think market maturity theory it's fair. It's very important to keep in mind. I think it's very, very important. But yeah, I mean, if you guys go to my trading view, you can see all of my past ideas and predictions. You know, we've predicted even the 2022 bear market. Basically, we saw this move up, and then we saw a massive move down. The idea of parabolic natures, right? This doesn't even use the Elliott wave theory, but it's all part of the market psychology, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion, that's how I'm seeing it. So yeah, maybe we'll see a move to the downside like this, where we come down and really it's still bullish at that level. I mean, all you're doing is you're tracing the diagonal, the initial part of that, and then the rest of the move is just kind of finishing it off, get a lot of people excited on a B wave rally, and then boom, we're going into a massive wave 2 to the downside. That could be a possibility. And then the halving idea, which is my preferred scenario, of course, just continuing the ideas of the previous halvings, because that's just how the general markets see it, right? But if we finish off, but it really doesn't matter, because we're still looking for 5 waves up, right? For every scenario, it's all 5 waves. Wave 1, and then boom, 2, and then boom, we're off. But I still believe that we will eventually retest, you know, $50,000, $60,000 once we do reach higher levels. But yeah, I pity the bears. I feel sorry for them, because they have sound ideas. You know, it reminds me of Robert Prechter, who is the founder of the Elliott Wave International. He's been a bear since like the 80s, man. Like some of you before you were even born, like he's been a bear for 40 years or so. And I pity the people that actually try to use bias alongside Elliott wave theory. It's really sad to see, because you miss out on so many opportunities. And I'm also seeing it in this current cycle as well. It's just a rinse and repeat. So many people are trying to call the top, and they are already 200% late, you know, from these levels over here. They've been calling the top here, the top here, top here, top here. You'll eventually be right. And I'll be siding with the bears eventually, but you know, it's sad to see, because you've missed out on such an incredible move, and it's really, really a pity to see that people are utilizing so much bias into the Elliott wave theory. No matter how valid it may be, they're not structuring the market psychology correctly with the Elliott wave theory. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's where the fallback happens, because no matter how valid it may be, that's the fallback of the fallout of the Elliott wave theory. It's valid. It's valid until it's valid, and then you have the ability to adjust the counts to your liking until it fulfills your bias, right? When it should be the other way around. The general market doesn't see how you are looking at the markets as an Elliottician or Elliott wave analyst. Rather, as an Elliottician, you should be seeing how the general markets are looking at the markets, and then apply the theory on top of that. And that's a huge difference, right? A lot of people think, and you know, that goes back down to this idea where a lot of people are people DMing me all the time, like, oh, this is a wave 4 triangle. You know, the termination point is here, and then the impulsive wave starts here. You're like, yeah, it's absolutely valid and possible, but you know, you have such more simplistic approaches to the theory that, you know, you might as well just say that this is with a wave 4. This is where the bottom is established, right? At least you can now kind of go back in hindsight and say that this is a valid wave 4, where this is an ABC to the downside. But I don't know why people are trying to fit a wave 4 in here as a WXY with the Y wave as a triangle. So if you're seeing that as an Elliottician, like, yeah, that's awesome. You know, it's creative, it's absolutely valid. A lot of people, you know, love the creativity that comes out of it, but the general markets don't see that. They don't see that. They absolutely do not see that. They see a bottom, monkey see, monkey do, and they just get into the markets. That's how we should be looking at the markets as well, and then apply the theory on top of that. And if it's valid from that perspective, now you have a more weighted option, and that idea is possibly the more fitted idea going forward. And that's why this idea fits so well, no matter how much you may hate it, even as an Elliottician, right? Now, I can argue against argue with the idea that, you know, you have too many 1-2s being built, but it's just so comically well put together, and we have 5s and 3s really well respected in that sense. So you might as well just say that it goes up forever until it doesn't, and then you just swap your idea to that easily. That's how you should be doing it. You should be swapping it in that sense. That's the way you should be approaching the markets, ladies and gentlemen, okay? But yeah, that's how we're looking at it, okay? Now, this idea for BTC, I would say that we're now finally approaching the idea of a major alt season, because the 3-4-5s is where not only the idea, the trend continuation happens to the upside. If we go back to my BTC dominance, if you guys are interested in seeing this, I'll put it in the chat. Pin this for you guys. That we're finally swapping from the high increasing BTC dominance, and we're now finally seeing a decrease in the dominance, or at least that's what we're assuming. Why are altcoins increasing? Well, we just had a big swap in dominance, right? A lot of people are finding a lot more confidence into the markets, and as BTC is increasing, we're seeing a massive alt season. And I've been talking about this for years. This idea was printed back in 2020. Ever since then, people have been copying this idea, not crediting me, but oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, we are seeing a massive increase here. And then once BTC decreases, if we see a decrease, it should be theoretically stable. That's where a lot of people are still going to be accumulating altcoins. And once BTC stabilizes, then we'll see a little bit of an increase in the alt season as well. So this altogether is the alt season no matter what. The massive alt season happens when you see a decrease in the dominance and then you see increase in the Bitcoin price. What is the kind of puzzle right now we have? We have Bitcoin going up for this larger fifth wave to the upside, right? Dominance should be decreasing, and then we should see a massive alt season. And that's why I think we will be seeing a massive alt season. And it's pity to see a lot of bears as well. Maybe it's ethically against their own trading strategy, but I guess they don't like money. They just like seeing people getting burned. I think that, in bad nature, from a bear perspective, like I've done a lot of studying, like how what these bears think of, and what their train of thought is. It's quite fascinating because I'm a bear as well when it's, the right time. And I think it should be just fulfilled in the sense that we should be profiting from a bear market. But these bears, their notion and their basis from the get-go is not about making money, but they just like to see markets crumble in general. Not economically, just, from a more geopolitical standpoint. I'm talking about them as overall faith of being a bear, like what their psychology is behind it. They just like to see people burn. I think that's the biggest thing, and it's such a pity to think in that kind of sense. It's I think that's how their ethical approach is to bear markets. These bears, like these perma bears, they really want to see the market crumble, and then ego comes in as well, which is another second kind of standpoint. A lot of these bears have such high egos that they want their ego fulfilled, but there's really no fulfillment out of that, I think. Maybe this is a mirror for you guys who, if you guys are a perma bear in here and listening to this, maybe you should, reprioritize in how you actually should be seeing a bear market. Again, and they have it usually in bad faith. They see the markets go up like crazy. You're seeing the stock market going up like crazy, like Nvidia. You're seeing stock markets go up like, AMD, Apple, all of these stocks, Tesla. They're really pissed. They're really upset that the markets just continue up. But eventually they'll be right. I guess that's the one thing, or pro about being a bear, is they'll eventually be right. They will eventually call the top. But again, they'll be 200, 300% late, especially on this fifth wave. So that's something to keep in mind. So with that being said, right now, I think that we will see a major alt season. And that leads me to believe that these bears are also going to be extremely upset as well, because they don't want to get in altcoins as well. They just think it's a shit coin, right? So I guess you don't like money. I don't know. Like, what's the train of thought there, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me if you're a perma bear. Like, why do you get so much excitement out of trying to be right about where the top is going to be? If you are a perma bear and you want to speak up, please tell me in the chat, because I really want to know. So yeah, that's just how it's going to be. These bears are eventually going to be right. And I'm also going to fulfill that idea as well, where I'm going to eventually be a bear. I don't see it going up to like $400,000, $300,000 unless we get a bounce from that $50,000 level with that diagonal idea. So let's get into some questions, actually. Let's go into Ethereum. Let's see where we stand. So Ethereum is locked and loaded as well, in my opinion. We may be working for a possible triangle here, looking quite darn nice here. If we're going to look for that wave Y, maybe this pullback is turning into an ABC range. Maybe look at that ABC, fulfill that, have another move back, and then boom, and then a fifth wave to the upside. It's going to piss off the bears again. But yeah, I see this as a triangle. I think this triangle is pretty much the only valid structure on a macro scale. So I would say that, yeah, this triangle is probably the best fitting right now. That's taking into consideration with the sentiment of the markets, right? And lastly, XRP. What's it at right now? Looks like it's forming some kind of diagonal here. Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just going to invalidate that diagonal here. It's crazy. It's going on, man. I'm expecting a god candle for this coin, man. I'm serious. Like, it's not just because I'm in it, but it's just because it's so coiled up. This triangle is like a repetition of what happened here. It's not a triangle here, but it's like a repetition of creating higher lows here, where it's gonna bust out of here, in my opinion. If this is, it's just the percentage probability of this breaking out so high. I'm seeing a lot of XRP millionaires, and they're going to be rewarded. I'm telling you right now, so many people are in XRP right here. Since 2017, man, it's almost approaching a decade. But you know what's amazing about this is that we've been creating higher lows for the past 4 years. That's unseen in any other coin. We haven't seen that in this large of a coin, market cap and everything else. I'm telling you, this will suck the living life force out of every single coin when it does pump. I'm talking about every coin, every single coin that you know and you see. It's going to suck the living life force out of those coins, and that's what we're going to be witnessing, just like we did back in 2018, where no one believed that it was possible to have a market cap in this region here. No one believed it. No one believed it, because they thought that market cap couldn't be supported. And let me tell you, that's not how it works. Let me get into the questions in just a second. But yeah, you know, back in 2018, it was a crazy one. $3 and $3. I think the market cap around there was 130 billion alone at that point. No one thought it couldn't even hit 60 billion at that point. Same idea here. No one thinks that it can hit $10. Dude, you'd be wrong, in my opinion. And you think it can't surpass Ethereum? It surpassed Ethereum at that time in 2018. So something to keep in mind. So the market cap idea is a hoax, in my opinion. I think it's something that people just try to use against the idea. And not only that, we broke out of this triangle on the weekly. We got 2 more days until come back and invalidate it, and it's still valid into this level of this triangle. It's going to be crazy. I think we can backtest this trend line one more time. Absolutely possible as a 1-2 or something, because it is impulsive off the lows right now, especially if, BTC backtests the current all-time high or something. But it's looking so nice. I think conservative targets for me is around $5 to $7. And at that point, you'd probably be a millionaire at that point anyway if you're holding a lot of XRP. So yeah, something to keep in mind. It's not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just telling you right now, right off the bat, it's not financial advice, but I'm just telling you, it's what the charts are telling us. That's it. It's what the charts are telling. So let's get into the questions. Let's see what people are saying. XRP BTC, someone's asking about that chart. Let's see if did anything change there. Okay, yeah, we're getting a little bit of a stall here, huh? Looks like accumulation could be happening here. But dominance really needs to go down. It needs to play against Bitcoin. So it's the Satoshi value. You just got to play against Bitcoin. That's all. Looking quite strong multi-week trendline breakout. I think we're finishing the move as an expanded triangle. What do you think? Expanded triangles, in my opinion, it just doesn't fit in my toolbox. I don't like to use expanded triangles in my for wave fours. They're so incredibly like rare that I don't think having an expanded triangle is. I don't think it's to me. It's not even a valid pattern. I mean, but that's just me, subjective. I don't think anyone uses, or someone who's versed in Elliott wave uses expanded triangles, in my opinion. You're going to 1 million subs, mate. Your content is very good. Thank you, man. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you haven't already, just a quick reminder, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But yeah, I really appreciate it. We just hit 7,000 subscribers. I mean, this is a pretty big feat for me. I mean, I barely get paid by YouTube. It's chump change basically. But yeah, it's kind of phenomenal to see how much support we're getting for this channel. Thank you very much. And because of you guys, that's why I'm giving you guys these updates. I mean, I just try to give the most unbiased approach to the markets. When I become a bear, I'll be a bear. When I'm a bull, I'm a bull. I stay neutral as possible, stick to the trend. I share what I am currently in. That's about it. There's really nothing else. It's like a personal journal to me more than anything else. I haven't even thought about doing a live stream like this, you know? So thank you very much. Yeah, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. 52 CME gap as well. I don't see one on the daily chart, so that doesn't make me believe there's going to be a fill for 52K. Did you look at the past? Like, is there a CME gap in the past that did not get closed eventually, like back in 2017 or so? Yeah, I think there's one. I think there's a CME gap at like $3,000, but it's very minuscule. But the biggest gap right now is at $20,000 and the one that we just created a few days ago. So $77,000, $80,000 is the next CME gap that everyone has their eye on, even as a bull. Like, markets are completely like, dude, Bitcoin is so expensive right now. I'm telling you, I'm kind of shocked at like, who the heck wants to buy a $90,000 Bitcoin right now? So yeah, keep that in mind. It might be the people who are FOMOing. That's about it. Or perpetual traders. It's leveraged traders, in my opinion, who's buying Bitcoin. There's no way in hell, as a new person, you would buy Bitcoin at these levels thinking that it's great for the long term, because you definitely want it at a cheaper level, right? But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. What's going on with XRP? What's going on with it? I mean, it's the same, no? Ooh, it's doing so well against Bitcoin. Interesting. Okay. I wish I was there at the dawn of time when you were talking about that best indicator for Altseason ever. Oh, thank you, man. Jens. Yeah. Imagine being a technical trader and only trading one direction and shorting every consolidation. I mean, there's nothing wrong with shorting the markets. I think it's just like, I think I just went over that, right? The whole idea about being a bear, it's a pity because they do it in bad faith. Yeah, it's in bad faith. These people who want to short the tops, they'll eventually be right. And again, you know, they'll be right one time out of the 99 other times. But eventually, we're going to swap bear, and then we'll be right from the get-go. Can you explain about market cap that you just mentioned? Missed the piece. So I have a video on this actually. I'll share it on my social media. I go over the whole idea of market cap and why it's not really important. So you really want to watch that video as well. I go over the Apple stock as well. I talk about all of that as well. So make sure to watch that video. I'll post it. China stocks? No, I mean, why? I don't want to go over Chinese stocks right now. Definitely, like, this is a crypto live stream. But I do talk about it in my membership group as well. So if you guys are interested in joining the membership group and Discord, link is in the description below as well. XRP legitimate coin, absolutely 100. It's just from a technical perspective. I don't really care what the founders of, I don't really care about anything fundamentally for XRP. Really, I don't. It's just a technical thing. The fundamentals definitely back it up, though. We see the observation of it. Wow, man, XRP holders, dude, these people, they know what pain is. Number one, they held this out for 8 years. Number two, witnessing these strong, wild swings, especially with the delisting and the relisting, I'm telling you, that's worse than, Chinese water torture. I'm telling you right now, it's it's worse than Chinese water torture. Like, if you think you don't know what pain is, holding XRP is pain. And if there are any girls in here, can you please tell us what's more painful, holding XRP or is it childbirth? I'm telling you right now, it's probably holding XRP. Where do you expect BTC to top price-wise, considering the Elliott wave theory? So yeah, it just goes back to this idea here. I think that we will eventually finish off this as a fifth wave. It's just fitting so well into the idea of the cycle theory, both the diagonal and both the cycle theory of, halvings. And Bitcoin also just respecting so well for having 5 waves for a bull market in general. And then we should have a significant pullback of a higher degree no matter what, okay? That's just, I already explained this, but yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. Can I look at Dogecoin? Do we keep grinding higher, lower time frame, or do a pullback? I've warned you guys about Dogecoin as well from the get-go. I mean, I think the shorter time frames doesn't really matter anymore. It's too impossible to know what's going to happen on the shorter time frame until we get an actual consolidation, and then we can start looking at it again. There's no point in talking about it. But yeah, let's look at Dogecoin. Yeah, it's definitely working in a wave 3. In my opinion, it's a cycle 4 or 5 that's being complete. I think we will break eventually all-time high. What I really like to look for, just like with XRP, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, is accumulation. And depending on what pivotal point you are in a higher degree, wave 4, this being a triangle is just more fitting. And then we had this wave 1, 2 pullback. This is definitely impulsive. Maybe we'll have one small move if this is a 1, 2 in itself. This is a 3, maybe a sharp pullback one more time. 5th wave, that will be the intermediate degree wave 1, and then we should have a 2. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe we already are in the intermediate 1, 3, 4, 5. This maybe wave 3 is already starting to come into play. But yeah, just in my opinion, I think having this target with a basic target of the 1618 is going to be our minimum for wave 3, minimum, and then 4, 5. But again, we're looking for a cycle degree 5 to complete, no matter what, above all-time high. That's just my opinion. That's how I'm seeing it. We've been waiting for this move basically forever. You're either in it or you're not. If you're trying to maximize your position, you need to wait. You need to wait for a pullback, considerable pullback, that is. Litecoin, same thing, triangle idea with it's lagging hard though. I think that this will also be going up as well. Huge consolidation, 8 to 9 years or so for Litecoin as well. Wild swings, establishing higher lows, simple technical analysis. On top of that, we also have a possible triangle in the making. What could go wrong? Possibly more upside, in my opinion, for this coin as well. Looks like all these Dino coins are actually full, like XRP and Litecoin is the only one in the green right now. It's very surprising. Man, XRP is moving, huh? It's crazy. It's the only thing moving right now. It's just continuing. It's insane. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. It's sucking the life force out of all the other coins. Look at it. Everything's in the red right now. The only thing that's in the green is XRP right now. I'm telling you right now, it's just the beginning. Karen is asking, the move off of 30 cents in 2022 looks corrective more than impulsive. Can you see a wave count where we're in a ABC from the 21 high? Are you talking about XRP or? We would be in the C of B. Oh man, I don't know which coin you're, I mean, unless you're talking about XRP, the only corrective move that I can see out of this whole move being a bearish structure is if you are, but it's already invalid. That's the thing, I think, which is seeing this as an A, B, C, D, E, this, but it's already invalidated. You see, it already went past the previous subwave E if you saw this as the bearish triangle. So that's the problem in itself as well, because if you saw this as a higher degree, now this already is solidifying my bullish case even more. Thank you for even asking. Even if we labeled D here and E here, it's still invalid. Having this as a D and this as the E, invalid anyways. So it's not possible in my opinion. And if you're talking about like corrective moves off of the lows, you can still count these as expanded diagonals. That's the thing about XRP. You can have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going into wave 1 and this as a wave 2 if you're seeing this as a series of 1, 2s, meaning that if you're seeing this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're seeing this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a lower degree. And you're asking, okay, well, is it corrective off the lows around 30 cents? Then this would be truncated. If this was an ABC, this wave, in my opinion, would be truncated. Then you would have a smaller degree. Correct. So you're probably talking about this move here, where you're seeing this as a corrective move to the upside. No problem, because this is an expanded diagonal. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. This is your nested 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All respectable in time as well. And that goes back to the idea of XLM, which is similarly fitted at, and this would be the primary count. XLM or Stellar Lumen has a better look for that 1, 2, 1, 2 structure, where it had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside as a leading expanding diagonal going into wave 1. So that, in my opinion, has a much better look, but XLM could still be fitted as a triangle and still be valid. That's the main thing. This is going to be huge, in my opinion. I think XRP is going to be a massive winner in this bull cycle. I think it's either now or never. Really, it's now or never, in my opinion. We'll see. We'll see. I can be wrong. You know, I'm happy to be wrong, but I like to see what the charts are telling us. Do you have any course on LU wave theory? If you go to my trading view, you can see it. You can see my whole LU wave guide. Eric, my friend called me today, wanted to know what to buy, bro. Retail is coming back. That's either a good thing or a bad thing. At least we're well positioned, right? Oh, Floaty. Hi. It's been a while. I haven't seen you for a while. How are you, man? I haven't seen you in like months, I think. Totally forgot about you, bro. How are you? So holding XRP made you this resilient. I told you every single day I've been buying XRP. Every single day since 2018. Every single day. Every single day. Not once have I missed it. Once. Biggest position is over here. Not once I haven't bought or missed a day. And I have proof. Ask Amorification, man. He's in this chat right now. He knows how much I've been holding XRP for. Sui? Okay, well, we can go over Sui, actually. I think I have account for it. Yeah, we have account for it. Super bullish, looks like. Looks really bullish, man. Super bullish. I mean, looks like it's going into primary 1, 2. Be careful, though, because there will be pullbacks. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should be theoretically looking for the 5 wave. Man, that'd be crazy. How much is it up? 600%. Oof, that's crazy. But it's crypto. Now, this could be a 1, 2 flat, but I can't count. This looks impulsive to me. It doesn't seem corrective to me. It's just, if you're looking for a pullback, it's going to be in a 1, 2 fashion. That's about it. XRP, 76 cents now. Is it moving again? Oh, it broke the top. Oof. I don't know, man. If this is some kind of diagonal idea. Three, 4, 5. Wow, man. It's looking good, man. Looking good. It's the only thing in the green right now. Your mom called you to tell you that XRP is pumping? Dude, that's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah. See? I mean, Amir knows, man. You know I've been holding that forever, dude. Short peanut? Good luck, man. Short in this market, I don't know. I have some hedges, but we'll see. Did you not watch my video on Link, Amut? My latest video, it's already up. I know I'm seeing where Link is going as well. Link has one of the biggest potentials for this bull market season as well. Any questions about Bitcoin, though? Are there any questions about Bitcoin? Any questions on Bitcoin? If not, I guess we can end the live stream now, or what do you guys want? What do you guys want? You guys want me to keep going and talking about Bitcoin, or should we end this live stream? How do you guys want it? You guys that want sunny side up, scrambled, or what? I think everyone's waiting on altcoins. Yeah, I would say so too. Is Bitcoin good or bad? Spot exit strategy? I'm going to be personally getting out, I don't know, man, 100,000? We'll see. Keep a little bit on the side. We'll see. We'll see. But definitely not accumulating at these levels. Definitely not accumulating. This is not a time to accumulate. It's about maximizing. Know the difference. We want to pump XRP all day and night long. Yes, sir. Definitely. Man, XRP is so strong. What's going on? It's the only thing in the green. Was I right about the God candle that's about to come? Maybe $2 and maybe it'll hit $1.70 in the coming days, man. Who knows? This thing could just shoot up, dude. That would be crazy. Just pump up, break this whole resistance, man. It'd be insane. Man, imagine it went to $3 in just like a few weeks. That'd be nuts. I mean, Dogecoin went up like 500%, right? Dang, man. That'd be insane. But just know, XRP is usually the last one to pump. Is this the time? I don't know. We'll see. But we are getting the signals. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the live stream here. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day or evening at this current time. Good luck. You guys know my stance already. XRP, Link, and so forth. ADA. You guys know my stance. Dogecoin. I mean, those are the only ones that pumped are the ones that I actually shared. So don't go into these, shit coins. Be careful is what I'm saying. Just be careful. Have an exit strategy. Make sure to have an exit strategy, okay? So I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. But this is our second live stream this week, so we'll do another one pretty possibly during the weekend. We'll see. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.